Deck of Wonders. I once backed a Kickstarter, then I cancelled the Kickstarter because there were many problems about the legacy aspect, and they weren't. It. The game is designed by Dennis Furia, and the unique selling point of this game is that you can play it on a small table space in a small amount of time. And I made the book because I want to make the print and play and sell off the production version. And if you imagine that you have two decks of cards in a box, then A5 is the perfect size for a booklet. And fortunately, this rulebook is also large enough font to read while printing it on A5. It has an actual table of contents. Then there is a story. I'm not going to read the story because you can download Forteller, and there is a girl speaking in Forteller for free, where she reads the storybook and why you stole the Deck of Wonders from Kate herself. It's a nice story. Okay. So when you are to build the print and play version, there are specific decks that you should either not print at all and read it all in fear of spoilers. I'm not going to bother with that. Just print everything. But these packs are to be put in wrappers or in envelopes that you open on specific circumstances. So you play with a subset the first few games. So this is a a single tier deck, and I'm against single tier decks in general. But in this case, as you play along, you unlock certain things, and the cards become better in your deck. So I hope that eventually, just by sheer luck, you will get right combinations in the sequence of the cards. You construct a deck by certain rules that are explained here, from a core deck and from a villain deck, and you mix the two decks together, and that will be the play deck to fill out your player row and your villain row. I have seen several playthroughs on YouTube, and none of the players has actually won, as far as I know. Each card has two sides, a good side and a villain side. And if you draw the card for the villains, you draw it upside down. So this part is shown. And when you draw a card for the villain, it starts in a ready form. When you draw a card for the player or for yourself, you start in exhausted form, so actually tilted. Yeah, that's mostly it. The villain cards, story cards, rule cards. Oh yeah, this is the three kinds of cards. Villain card, specific rules. These are blurred out by purpose. The story card, just small lore section, and the rules card. The required space on your PC is about 1.5 gigabytes. It's all high resolution and uncompressed. The rulebook is actually pretty easy to build. There is enough enough bleed to sew it. Maybe I can show it here. You can see. Maybe, yeah, you can see the sewing lines. I start from half a centimeter, and then I do every centimeter. I punch a hole, and then I sew. Clear turn, fill and turn. So it's a nice little card game in the same vein as the Phantom the card game, Dungeon Flea, and Barbarian Vince. Things that I like that because they are limited in scope. Palm Island is another example. You have a single deck of cards that you manipulate, and then you unlock certain extra cards that you add in to enhance your game experience in future plays. There are alternate builds. If you want more variety, I think there is enough variety for the first 10 games or something. I'm not going to play much more than that, I think. You can expand the deck of wonders. There are 3 kinds of collections. For each of the villains, there are 3 villains. The upgrades are described here. And here is an upgrade tracker. That means that you write the name of the card here as you play along and along. I think it's easy to use this because you will remember what the upgrades for the card actually is. So you play the card and then you recognize it because you have to work hard to gain these upgrades. So the way to enhance your game is extra player health, extra player strength. Not sure what player strength does because there is the game has. Have you seen this picture? Nice. Let's see. Yeah, here you see the anatomy, and this is the icon strength, the strength icon in the good side. So I think you have a +1 on every card with this. Player draw means I think player draws an extra card every turn instead of just 1. You can draw 2. So this is a very strong thing. Also, this is very strong, of course. -1 player cost. I don't know. Oh yeah, the cost here. Discard 2 cards to activate the attack. Then you only have to discard 1 because this is the cost. So that's also a very strong upgrade. -1 villain health. It's faster to defeat. -1 villain strength. I think that has to do with the upside down strength, so it has less chance to destroy your cards, and when they can't destroy your cards they will attack you. So it's a bit ambiguous if this is good for you or not. -1 villain draw is of course very nice because then the villain draws 0. So challenge decks. Okay, so this is a nice extra a QR code if you have an app on so-called mobile phone that you can scan, and then there will be some extra end game challenges. I think that is a bit too much. You should just write out in the rulebook what the idea is. Okay, and this is the fated form endings. You have to stop if you you must have defeated Cullen's fated form, and then you can read it, and also for Aurora's fated form and Byzantus fated form. So these are the three main villains, and the cards that are put in the box. The first part is the standard part, and after you defeated the villain, he gains some extra cards to make it harder for you, and that will be considerably harder to defeat him the next time. Now, if you sew all the inner sides and then glue the outside back and then the outside front, you get a nice little booklet. Maybe I should. I think I'm going to put some scotch tape to preserve it, because as you can see, it starts wearing and tearing already a little bit. Okay, bye.